Coming up next, I'm going to share with you the 5 people that will determine how successful you're going to be. And then we got an update on the COVID vaccine mandates. Maybe I'll chop down a tree. You never know. Of course, we're going to take your calls, and it all starts right now. All right, coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. This is, in fact, the Ken Coleman Show. I'm Ken. I have not replaced Ken as a lumberjack. The guy's having some fun with me on the outfit today, and, I appreciate it. Feeling very fall, but I want to point out that this is a Ralph Lauren vest right there, so there you go. So, I mean, I'm not a complete outdoorsman. Anybody who knows me would appreciate that and chuckle at that. Nathan, the director, having some fun with me today. But I will tell you, I feel cozy today. These studios, as Nathan knows, are chilly. The equipment, it's just, these are chilly studios. I'm always telling Joe how cold I am. And so I must tell you, this little extra layer here has got me feeling cozy, which means the coaching might just be a little more gentle today. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. What do you all think? In fact, let's just go to the YouTube chat room. We'll just see what they say. We'll throw it out there. If you're watching live on YouTube, what do you think of the chat room? Do you like? Do you not like? I can handle it. So there you go. Put that out there.
I mean, you can start a bonfire back there with all the wood you've chopped down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're a Minnesota guy. So, I mean, is this like, when do you start wearing this in Minnesota? Not until...
About July. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's get to it here. We're here to help you do what you were born to do. Let's go. I want to talk about the 5 people. These are archetypes that if you're around these 5 people on a consistent basis, this isn't a transactional, I'm in, I'm out. This is a practice of proximity to these 5 people. And they will absolutely guarantee that you will be who you were created to be. If you're on purpose to be around these people, you're going to get so much from them. Here we go. The 5 people are, first, the professor. This does not necessarily mean an actual professor, although it could be. The professor archetype is the person that can and is willing to teach you something that you need to learn. This is skill-based. So again, could be in a college class. Certainly could be online in a certification. I think of Bethel Tech. Bethel Tech, I endorse them. We're sending a ton of people their way that in a 9-month program and less than $15,000, you're learning the technology skills you need to jump into a career in technology. So Bethel Tech is an example of the professor. They have knowledge and they are willing to teach you. This is the key. They have the knowledge and are willing to give it to you. That defines the professor. The second archetype is the producer. Now, again, the word producer is traditionally a entertainment title. Alex, the producer, he produces the Ken Coleman Show. But this does not mean a media position. The producer is somebody who is producing results, winning in their industry. Specifically, the industry that you are in or you want to be in. You want to thrive in. So you're looking for a woman or a man who is very successful in the field you want to be in. And by that definition, they are a producer. You want to be around them. Coffees, lunches, Zoom calls, telephone calls, email chains, where you are learning from them. You're learning from them. The third archetype is the professional. This is the person who has achieved not just success in the industry, but notoriety. And these people are going to be much harder to get with. Can you get with them? It's possible, but a low rate of possibility. To give you an example of what I did in broadcasting, the professionals that I got around, it was via television, YouTube. I watched, I listened, I read their books, great interviewers. Okay. The Barbara Walters, the Larry Kings, the Oprah Winfreys, the Bob Costases, those were the professionals that I was getting around by watching, observing, listening, learning. the professional. And because of the internet, YouTube, books, podcast, the world is very flat. So you can, Instagram, you can learn from these people, connect with them in the sense of the knowledge and wisdom they are putting out. You can consume it. And then the fourth person, the peer. I've shared this on the show. I'll share it again. 95% of your success or failure is directly related to the people you spend the most time with. This from a legendary Harvard study that's now over 75 years old on the power of relationships as they studied people's lives. The peer. Are you around people who push you, who lift you, or are you around people who pull you back, who discourage you, criticize you? This is huge. This is absolutely huge. The people you spend the most time with. And then finally, the mentor. This is the sage. Does not have to be industry specific, although that's great too. But someone who is about wisdom. You're taking big decisions that you may be weighing. You are going to them and saying, hey, I want to grow in this specific area. How have you grown? Will you help me with a plan? Will you hold me accountable to the plan? That's the mentor. So the 5, professor, producer, professional, peer, the mentor. If you want to do a deep dive on these relationships, you can get it in my book, The Proximity Principle, my previous #1 bestseller that's available at kencoleman.com. You need to be around these people. Identify where they are and get around them. And I'm telling you something, if you turn yourself into a human sponge when you're around them, always learning, not asking for connection and opportunity, asking to learn first and foremost. The rest will take care of itself. If you do that, you will see tremendous growth, and you will also sustain that growth over a long period of time. The professor, the producer, the professional, the peer, the mentor, all detailed in great length in my book, The Proximity Principle. 844-747-2577 is the phone number, 844-747-2577. Coming up a little bit later in the news segment, new details out on the COVID vaccine mandate. Geez, I can't talk all of a sudden. New rules, exceptions, and more. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then, of course, we love to give an update on you all. Got a couple of Momentum Monday updates as well. Before we get to the calls, don't forget, a lot of you are actually saying, hey, ZipRecruiter, I need help. Because the job search itself is awful in the sense of putting a ton of resumes out there. That takes a lot of your time. You rarely hear anything back. That kills your emotions. So it's the yuck and the suck. And we want to help you by driving you to a free resource that happens to be the #1 hiring site in the country as another valuable tool. How about putting ZipRecruiter to work for you as your recruiter? They don't keep you in the dark, by the way. It's simple and easy. You fill out a profile at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, hit go on it. They begin pitching you, promoting you to jobs that fit your profile, and then they keep you updated when someone likes your profile, when someone looks at it, when someone asks for your contact info, and they let companies contact you directly. So it's easy. It's free. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right, to the phones we go. Santa Rosa, California. Chris joins us there. Chris, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks very much.
You bet.
I got two questions about the Get Clear career assessment.
Oh, great. Go ahead.
Just as background, I've got 2 daughters. One's 27 with a baby at home, and she's about to get laid off from her part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's thinking about going back to grad school.
Okay.
Second daughter is 20, really kicking it in college. And so question number 1 for the older daughter, does it take into account being a stay-at-home mom?
Absolutely.
So would that come up as an answer? Is the kind of question
Oh, you mean would it come up as a professional possibility? Because that's what the assessment does. We're going to give you details and a detailed report on what you do best, your talent. So you'll see your top 3, and you'll see where you score on all 12 of the universal talents in the assessment. Same thing with passion. Detailed report on the top 3 passions, types of work you love. and then show you where you are on all 15 of the universal passions, work you love. And then finally, there are 6 missional drivers. We'll tell you your primary missional driver, but show you where you score on the other. So you see anything above average, you go, okay, this is information. Then we fill out a purpose statement for both daughters, right? So they'll get a purpose statement, and it says, I was created to use my top talents, and then blank, 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 top 3, to do work I love, passion, blank, 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 to produce the result of blank, missional driver, so that I do this, this, and this. So that purpose statement will apply to a stay-at-home mom for sure, because they can take those answers and go, hey, is this purposeful work for me? And it is, of course, if stay-at-home mom is the answer. And the answers will yield that. Now, in the assessment, to answer specifically on the stay-at-home mom option, we do give professional possibilities as suggestions to look at, but no assessment can nail a specific type of job or career, because you've got to go look into that with the information we give. So it's not going to come up. I will tell you right now, homemaker, and maybe that's something we need to add. I'm willing to look into that, but no, specifically no. But if they get their purpose statement, it should reveal multiple types of answers for them to go, well, what if it's this? What if it's this? And certainly being at home, a working mom in the home, where that is the work, certainly that's an option. All right, so question number 2 for the youngest daughter.
Will the results change over time? So she's right in the middle of college, and, if you ask her, well, what do you want to do? She says, well, she's been working at this job, and she helps me in the summer doing a boat rental business, so she really does great with that. And
the answer is as we change, our answers change. And so what's great about this Get Clear career assessment is that we ask the questions, right? So me and the team got together, the professionals that know how to build these things here, our data team and our polling team. We do all these studies all the time. And they took my answers and my questions. We all work together. We go, okay, if we ask a person these questions and they're honest with themselves, it's going to reveal, what they need to know. But for a 20-year-old, they could take it at 22, 24, 26, 28. And just as any personality assessment could change over time based on the changes in the person's life, yes, the answer is it could change, and it might change because of, let's take a 20-year-old who's answering the questions we ask about work you love. Well, they have limited work experience. So yeah, it certainly can change. And the good news, it's only $30. And honestly, if you buy it with a bundle, it's even less. So it can change.
So it'd be worth it for her to take it now, though.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. The thing I'm most proud of, Chris, with this assessment is that it is a great conversation starter. You know what I mean? No assessment is perfect because it's based on an imperfect person taking it. But here's what I know. A 20-year-old takes it right now. Her purpose statement might change 5 years from now, but right now it's the conversation that it becomes for her and anybody, whether you're 40 or 60. It becomes the conversation that you need to have with people who really know you well, and it gets to a place of true self-awareness. So yes, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. And by the way, if she takes it, okay, and you guys get the results and there's some big questions, have her call the show.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I've had spouses call the show and we do both of them at the same time. I don't mind having you and her on as well, and we walk through it. That's why I do this tool, so that we can start the conversation and get her in the right framework, and then she begins to explore. And that's the key. Right now, we want a 20-year-old taking this assessment so that she can explore on purpose and be strategic in exploration. That's what it's going to do for her, which is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Chris.
Thanks, Ken.
That's good stuff. In fact, you know what? What am I doing here? You know what I'm thinking, Amanda? I'm not going to make Chris pay for this. Chris, hang on the line. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to have Amanda give you a link and a code so your daughter could take this, because I'm so excited. I think 20-year-olds are on the front edge of this assessment, and I want to give that to you. So hang on the line. By the way, I'll mention, if you want the Get Clear career assessment, you want it for maybe the first time in your life to see a purpose statement based on your answers, and you want to see a detailed report on what you do best, talent, a detailed report on what work you love to do, passion, and a detailed report on the results that matter most to you, mission. See it in a purpose statement, see some professional possibilities, and then maybe call me and go over your results with me on the air. It's $30 as a standalone product at kencoleman.com. But right now you can bundle it, and forever we'll bundle it with the new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Throw that up on the screen while we're talking about it, because I'm not just promoting a book. These are the two tools I've not had until this moment. I could coach people on the air. Joe, how long have we been talking about having tools like this? Because all we had for years was the ability to just talk to somebody. Now we have the assessment, which allows you to see your results, your purpose statement, and then you've got the book, From Paycheck to Purpose, which is the guide up the mountain once we figure out the mountain. So what are the two tools? The assessment, the Get Clear Career Assessment, is the compass. The book, From Paycheck to Purpose, it's the map. It's the map book up to where we want to go. And that's what's exciting about it. 844-747-2577. KenColeman.com to go get the bundle right now for only $20. I got irritated, Joe, when I first saw that.
No.
Yeah, I did. A little irritated, being honest. The assessment, $30 product. The book, it's going to retail for $25, I think. And we put them together for $20. I was like, good grief, man. What am I, in the charity business? And so then I got my attitude right. But it's a phenomenal, phenomenal deal. KenColeman.com. Point out here that the book does not come out till November 9th. So if you get it now, you can get the assessment now. The book shows up on November 9th. So more on that. We got a live event to talk about. We'll talk about that later. Back to the phones. Sacramento, California. Kevin is there. Kevin, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good, Kevin. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
Good.
Hey, I've been in law enforcement over a decade. Started out in local law enforcement and then transferred to federal law enforcement. I've been in that for a few years.
Okay.
And pay is much better than local law enforcement, but just due to the political nature of the federal law enforcement, the toxic management and culture that it breeds, I've been contemplating speaking with a wife about moving back into local law enforcement. The only bad thing is that would be about a $70,000 pay cut.
Whoa. Okay. We haven't told the wife about this yet, have we?
Oh, we've spoken about it.
How did she react when you hit her with the $70,000 hit?
Well, we are in baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Good.
And if we left the area that we would move to, we'd have $250K to be able to put down on a house. So financially, it wouldn't be too bad of a burden, but it is a huge change of lifestyle.
And keep going. I'm thrilled that we've had this conversation. How does she feel about it? I want to know what she feels about it. Once we talked about moving to another location, we're going to put a big chunk down on a house. Cost of living is a whole lot less. However, you're not bringing in as much. How does she feel about that change in lifestyle?
She is fine with the area. She would love the area that we'd move to. Currently hates where we live.
Right.
She can see how stressful the job is, that, you know, and the issues that are surrounding the job here. Really doesn't like the entity that I currently work for.
Yeah.
But she still has the worries about how local law enforcement is going right now with the current social movements and everything.
How do you feel about it?
I'm okay with it. I got on law enforcement, grew up with, you know, in a bad domestic violence family, moved into law enforcement because of that. But whenever I moved to federal, it went from, you know, seeing that you can make an effect and help people to, you know, an agency that's worried about statistics more than actually making a difference. So
this is a great snapshot. Thanks for sharing all that. What's your question for me? How can I help you? Because I want us to dive in and figure out what it is you called me about. What's really the reason you called?
To go from what would be seen as top tier in your career, being in federal law enforcement, and returning to local law enforcement and taking that, at the beginning, a huge, significant pay cut. Is that stupid to think about?
Let me
Or is
reframe.
that,
Okay, so here I'm going to answer your question by asking you a question. And thank you for being vulnerable. By the way, before we go any further, thank you for your service. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you for serving. To protect and serve is as noble as a type of work as there can be. So thank you. You're a great American.
Thanks, sir.
Here's the question. I'm going to reframe the question you just asked me. Should I go from a job that gives me tremendous mental and emotional stress, puts my life on the line on a regular basis? I don't love it. My wife doesn't love it. We hate where we live. Should I go from that to moving to a job that I have more connection to in a place that we really enjoy? Is that stupid to do that? What's the answer?
Those dollar signs make it hard to answer that.
But see, you changed the question. I didn't talk about dollar signs. I just framed it that way. I want you to answer it that way. We're not going to forget the money. I'm not in any way minimizing the money. But what's your emotional answer to that emotional question?
I'd be so much happier. She
Okay.
would be so much happier too.
Okay. Now, I promised you I wasn't going to forget about money, but thank you for answering honestly. So it's a no-brainer emotionally, is it not?
Yes.
All right. Now we got to figure out the financial. Okay. Is the $70,000 hit, you mentioned something earlier that made me want to ask, how long would it be that way? Would you start to work your way back up? And how long would that take? And then where would you cap out to where now we go, this is the long-term difference in income?
It would probably take 10 years, 10 to 15 years
All right,
to hit
forget it.
100.
All right. So forget that. Well, you would go from what to what?
120 to 50.
Okay. So what would be the number, if I could wave my Ken Coleman Show pencil in the air and go poof, what would be the number that you would go, this is a no-brainer financially? If I made this amount of money, forget law enforcement, just we're going to move from where you are now to where you guys have identified, and emotionally it's a slam dunk, yes, we've already established that. Financially, what would make it a slam dunk?
80,000.
Okay. So we got to come up with $30,000 above and beyond what the 50 is for moving back into local law enforcement. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to forget law enforcement as the context. I want you to tell me what you love most about the law enforcement on the local level. You've been there before. Take me back. Forget that you're in law enforcement. Talk about the work. If you think about an 8-hour day, what's the work that you love the most, that you just go, man, this fires my soul?
The autonomy of the work. Every day is not the same. No day is the same. You are on ground level, talking to people, getting to help people in their most vulnerable, terrible days that they'll have, and you get to show up and assist them and help them get through it.
Okay,
it may not be a long-term fix, but you can make a difference, or you can help someone at that point.
Okay, Kevin, that is absolutely freaking beautiful. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you think of 2 or 3 other things besides being a sheriff or local police officer that would allow you to have autonomy, a different schedule every day, and on the ground helping people, assisting people in their time of need?
Firefighter, paramedic, and nursing.
Ding, 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 ding. Seems like maybe you've thought about those things before. Yes or no?
Possibly.
Here's where I'm excited. I think that's what we ought to be thinking about, because that takes the last piece out of the wife, the concern your wife has too. Now, you certainly can get harmed on any job, right? And certainly firefighter can be very, very dangerous, obviously. But generally, you don't have people shooting at you, right? So
Right.
I start to think about, wait a second, you like the autonomy. You like the different schedule each and every day. You've thought about all those things. I think the play is, what's the path that gets me? And by the way, I think you can make more than $50,000 in those jobs too. And I think
there's definitely career progression that would
Right.
probably get me to 80,000 within 5 to 6 years.
That's my point. I'm asking you not to make a decision today, but I'm asking you if you could consider those things and go, wait a second, that gets me still a ladder. It gets me out of my current situation and sets me on a path towards a great situation long term. The other piece I would bring to the table, if I was sitting with you and your wife at your kitchen table, I would also be going, okay, look, we're going to have a better life from day one if we move and get out. Yes, less money. But is there a side business, a side hustle that you've always wanted to do? Something like that, where if you go, look, I've always wanted to start a landscape company, or I've wanted to do a little handyman business. I'm just making this stuff up. But I'm going, what are the other possibilities to where 80,000 and 100,000 aren't 5 to 7 years off?
Okay. Yeah, that makes right. So good thing about local is you can pick up, off-duty security gigs that'll pay you.
Dude, I got some friends here in Franklin. They make all kinds of money showing up at high school football games on Friday night, and directing church traffic is a big business in the Southeast, man. We got mega churches on every corner. These guys are making time and a half, I think, I could be wrong, being paid to direct traffic.
Yep.
Now we're going. Now we got the juice, Kevin. We got some ideas. Here's the thing. You and your wife got to sit down and eat. And listen, and I'm not trying to tell her that she needs to go to work outside the home or not. But we got to go, what must be true for us to make this move that we say is an emotional slam dunk? We need to do it. We want to do it. But what must be true for us to pad the economic change? That's it. This is called good old-fashioned brainstorming and looking for opportunities, Kevin. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You got this. This call is over. It's time for you and the wife to have a nice romantic dinner, candlelight, steak, whatever, and let's dream together. This isn't a you decision. It isn't a her decision. This is a we decision. And when we're talking about quality of life, I can figure the money out. But if I'm miserable on the job, and my wife is feeling not so safe and so good about it, and we don't like where we live, come on, man. How much money does it take to make up for those things? I got the answer. You ready? There is no amount. There is no amount of money that makes up for those things that we just established. There's not, there never will be. Joe, let's do a little something here. Let's go. Let's do some fun, positive updates. How about a little Momentum Monday where we update you on some good news from you, the people. You've emailed us. You've reached out to us on social media. Let's do that. Oh, yeah. Allie from Toronto, Ontario, emailed in to ask@kencoleman.com. Hey, Ken, today I was able to speak to my boss and negotiate a better work-life balance. Hey! That's pretty awesome. How about that? I learned that it is far better to take a risk and fail than to sit there and feel hopeless. Come on, Allie. Allie's preaching. Today, my boss informed me that he completely agrees with me after I told him I'm burned out and I'm unable to continue without any further help. I feel slightly free, and I feel as if a huge weight is off my shoulders. Watching your videos gave me a little bump of confidence and let me know what I wanted from my job. Hey, way to go, Allie. And then Zipporah jumped in on one of my Instagram posts. Oh, we got a photo. I'm told we have a photo for this. At Ken Coleman on Instagram. There she is. Look at her. Look at that little sweet girl she's got with her. Proximity principle works, people. Better believe it does. I've been in the healthcare industry over 10 years, and each position I've applied for has been 3 out of the 4 have been via referral, and then I wowed them with my resume. Wow. That's really, really awesome. And it does, folks. Relationships, connections, that's where opportunity hangs out all the time. If you, let me tell you something. If you're right now, you're watching, you're going, Ken, I can't catch a break. I can't get an opportunity. I'm going to tell you something. You aren't around the right people and you aren't in the right places. It's like if I ran into somebody right out here in front of Ramsey Solutions, some dude's walking aimlessly out in the parking lot. I go up to him and go, hey, can I help? He goes, yeah, I'm pretty frustrated, Ken. I'm lost. Okay, great. What are you looking for? I'm trying to catch a train. I'm sorry? Yeah, I'm trying to catch a train. I'm going to go, brother, if you're trying to catch a train, You got to go to the train station. You're in Ramsey Solutions parking lot. As silly as that seems, that's what a lot of you are doing right now. You're like, oh, I can't catch a break. I can't chop a take. What are you trying to do? Are you around people that are doing that? Are you in places where it's happening? No, I'm on my couch. Sending LinkedIn emails. Oh, okay. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's as effective as the dude who's wandering around in the parking lot out there. By the way, it occurs to me that every like fake guy I make up, I always give him that Southern accent. But I'm a Southerner, so I guess I could do that. So if you're offended by that, I'm from the South. Don't take it personal. Get over yourself. If I could do a Yankee accent, I would every once in a while, but I can't. So there you go. Okay, quick break. Don't move. Updates on the COVID mandate, the vaccine, and all this stuff, how it's affecting you, the worker, coming up. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian healthcare ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you discover what you were born to do, and then we help you do it really freaking great. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Okay, two quick things. By the way, Joe and Alex, you know what I want? I need some type of bulletin board announcement or something when I got announcements so that because we have a lot of stuff to tell people. I need some little, we got to talk about. That'll be fun. Kind of go, okay, look, here's a couple things you need to know. We're going to get through it quick. So here we go. Oh, wow, very nice. It's never bad to have horns behind you. You know what I mean? I will be honest with you, Joe. That was well done, but it scared me.
A little fanfare.
Thank you very much. A little Here's two quick things. Oh, hold on a second. There's a lady outside that's taking a picture of me. I'm going to pose for her. Okay, great. There we go. Very, very nice. She's taking a picture outside the glass. So I thought, well, I give her, because when you're talking nonstop like this, she's going to get one of those like weird faces that I see when we like do freeze frames. Nathan knows he's got a million of those that he could shame me with. So I needed to pause for her. Okay, couple quick announcements. The Paycheck to Purpose live event, 2 days after the book comes out, November 9th. So this is a live stream, live from Ramsey Solutions World HQ. Thursday, November 11th, 6:45 p.m. Central Time. It's only $10 to get in. Good grief. There I am in the charity business again. I'm going to pour my guts out for an hour, and you pay $10? I got to talk to the team about these discounts. Anyway, text the word PURPOSE to 33789. Text the word PURPOSE to 33789. Everybody who's already pre-ordered the book gets the event for free. All right, here's another thing. We're doing a job search giveaway. I'm giving away our very popular resume templates for free to 400 people. And then one of those 400 people is also going to get a signed copy of my advanced reader version of the book. So before the hardback gets out, we do these little fun paperback things, and we send these out to media and all this kind of stuff. So here's the deal. You get to enter once a day for the chance to win. And you do that at kencoleman.com/giveaway, kencoleman.com/giveaway. So there's the good news. All right. What's going on with the COVID vaccine? We're getting calls on this, mandates. I may have to quit my job because I'm not willing to take it, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at it in the news. All right, so here's where it stands. The current intent, it is not law yet, but the current intent of the Biden administration is that companies employing 100 more people will soon need to require their workers to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And the federal government is already doing it. Okay. It is unclear right now when the Department of Labor will issue the mandate to the private sector. So is it going to happen? If I was a betting man, and I'm not, But if I was a betting man, I would say that it's not going to actually go through. There's a whole bunch of legal messes here, states, and just all kinds of mess. But that is the intent of the Biden administration. We shall see. You need to be prepared for it. Okay. Now, the federal government, as I said, already requiring, and that is happening. Okay. Americans with Disabilities Act does excuse some people from the mandatory vaccination. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Let me just say this. They post these things on social media. I'm literally reading the news. And these people will come after me and say, Ken, you're supposed to tell people what to do. You are in a position of influence, Ken. And you should tell people you are being irresponsible. Well, okay. I'm just not going to tell anybody anything about what they should do with their health. You know why? This is very exciting. I'm not a doctor. Even if I stay the night at Holiday Inn Express, I will never feel rested enough to tell people what they should do with their health. Consult your doctor. Is that a good enough position? Thank you very much. Consult your doctor. That's between you and your doctor. Okay. But the Americans with Disabilities Act requires employers to provide reasonable accommodations to workers with medical conditions that would make them unable to get a vaccine. So the U.S. EEOC, that's the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, does recognize this. And according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, these civil rights protections apply even during emergencies and can't be waived. So again, no, if you're one of these people that has some health conditions to where your doctor says the vaccine would not be good for you, you are protected here. You need to do your homework and talk with your employer. Now, the religious exemption. I want to cover this because I think early on I brought it up as a possibility. I can tell you, I don't think it's going to hold any water. Because now Pope Francis has come out and said it's not a religious exemption. I've recommended that Catholics get vaccinated. So if you're going to object to receiving a vaccine when your employer requires it, if you don't have that Americans with the Disabilities Act exemption under the EEOC, they can fine you and they can fire you. And so if you want to fight it, you can fight it. But if people have called in on the show and I just say, look, the decision that you make, you've got to live with the decision you make. And so if you're forced out, you better have a plan. And I'm all for men and women of principle doing what they believe is right, whether I think it's right or not. That's the American way. But please don't let this sneak up on you. At this point, it should not sneak up on you, and I don't want you to take a big financial hit because you weren't prepared for this. This is where we are. Is it where we're going to be 3 months from now? I don't know, and honestly, anybody that tells you otherwise is full of it too. We just don't know where this thing is going. And so that's where it is. I want you to be aware of it, and I want you to make a plan for it. All right. I'm looking at the clock, and it says that I got to get out of here shortly, but remember this. You matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.